Okay, guys, so we are here for another episode of Amma Ask Me Anything. Guys, by the way, this is my third take. The first time, we forgot to press record. The second time, it recorded and it stopped. This is my third take. I mean, sometimes when what you just gotta do what you gotta do, you know? And so we're here and we're ready to take on our next call. Let me just do this, put my secret PIN number in without you guys. What is it? Here we go. Okay. You guys get a sneak of that one. Okay, so let's have a look. Who is requesting a call? We have somebody who is, let's have a look, called Kalinda. Okay. Now, Kalinda has an interesting situation here. So we'll see how much she wants to reveal. Obviously, I don't want to reveal her whole story without her giving permission of it. So let's see what her question is. But I feel she needs a little bit of support now with what she's doing. So I'm just going to call away. Always exciting to see where we're calling, who we're calling. There we go.
Good morning, Kalinda.
Hello, Kalinda.
Hello, speaking.
Eric Ho.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, well, first of all, welcome to Amma Ask Me Anything. Welcome to the show. And
Okay.
I believe you messaged me something. I haven't revealed anything that you've said so far, so I just don't know how you want to ask it and what you want to disclose, what you don't want to. So I'll leave that down to you. Basically, you have my time now for the next, I guess, 5 to 10 minutes. So ask whatever you want to ask.
Okay, so right now, the message I'd like to do is I'm trying to rechannel my energy. I was recently separated. Well, I've been separated for about 4 years.
Yeah.
I was in a very abusive marriage,
Yep.
and I mustered up the strength. I left,
Yep.
moved on, bought my own house, and now
Nice.
I'm trying to restructure myself and career and entrepreneurship. And there's a lot of things weighing on me still, and I'm trying to remove that weight from me, if that makes sense.
Okay, and when do you feel it affects you? Like, what actually happens? What do you feel, and how do you feel it's stopping you?
Well, I feel sad, and there's a lot of things happening with my family. My grandmother's dying, my mother's sick, my father's sick.
Yeah.
So I just feel lonely sometimes, and like I just need energy. And I have so many great things I want to do, but sometimes I just feel so weighed down.
Got it. Okay. Do you practice any forms of meditation, yoga, or anything like that?
So I actually started practicing it when I saw your YouTube channel. So
Okay.
that's really when I actually started. So I'm pretty new at it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll just I'll share a few things with you that I think will be able to help you. So first of all, with the relationship, so do you find that the past relationship, things from the past comes back to like haunt you and thoughts and feelings and different things, or not?
Well, I would say I don't think that it's the relationship that makes me, so sad. It's more or less of him not being involved in his children the way I think he should.
You're not being involved in what, sorry?
Myself, his children. So
Okay.
it makes me upset about the choice I made when, deciding to marry him.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so just a few things then, okay? The first thing is to do with acceptance. So to be able to accept everything as is, meaning every situation is exactly how it was supposed to be. So there was no accidents, there was no doing wrong, there was no wrong choices, there was none of this stuff. It was literally everything was exactly how it was for a reason, because obviously there would have been some feeling of love at some time. There would have been some decisions made because of certain, feelings in those moments. And so nothing was actually an accident. Everything was supposed to be there. So that's acceptance of as is, right? Everything is the way it's supposed to be. Then the next part of it is any form of negativity that you hold towards any situation that's happened in the past is to actually to be able to look at it head on. Like it's not about, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, just forget about it, think about now. But if you haven't come to acceptance of it, it's very hard to forget about it, because there's different decisions and different things that have happened before, right? So it's about how to actually look at the exact situation head on, as if you're looking at it right now, and actually to recall the situation. And actually in those moments, how can we do in NLP what we call a cognitive reframe? How do we reframe our understanding of the situation? So how do we give ourselves a different perspective of the situation, right? So for example, to give an example of that, one of my let's say childhood incidents that happened in my personal life, which kind of like it really made a difference to the way I approach things going ahead. And something that I had to let go of is, for example, something like mum and dad arguing, for example. And mum and dad are arguing, and dad never being there because he's always going out there making money. And then as growing up, I feel that money isn't important, and I hate money, and I'm trying to get rid of money, because every time I think of money, I think of dad, and I think he's never there. So right. that was my belief for a long, long time growing up. So what I had to do is to go back to that situation, look at it head on, and to say, actually, everybody wants to do good in some way. There's no real such thing as an evil person. It's just that some people don't know how to adapt to certain situations, and they react in situations, and they make the wrong choices in situations, and to accept that that's normal, because everybody makes the wrong decisions at times, and says things that they don't mean, and all this type of stuff. So how do I look at the situation head on to say, actually, first of all, dad did love me, mum does love me, both of these, there's love there, except different people have different ways of showing love. Different people have different upbringing. They have their own conditioning and beliefs in terms of how they were brought up, and how they believe the world to be. So it's not really their fault. It just so happens that that's what happened in that moment. So come to acceptance and say that it was not your fault. It was not their fault. It was nobody's fault. It is what it is. It happened. Right. So I think the first part of it is the acceptance, to be able to look at it head on and to give yourself a different perspective, and to say, actually, it's okay. There's also there's a mantra that a lot of people use in meditation that really helps this as well. When you go into the visualization, to be able to see the past like this, to be able to say the words, thank you, I forgive you, and I love you. To be able to send love out to everything, because when we understand that everything in this world is a reflection of ourselves, when we can send love to every hate and anger and negative situation, everything starts becoming love around us, So these are different practices that you can do. Now let's go on to a little bit about the now, then, the things that are happening now. Right? So obviously, like that's the acceptance part. That's the past. Okay. So if we get that out of the way, now we think about now. If we talk about, for example, different things happening in a family, different negative situations happening, the only thing, we need to change is to change our thoughts and feelings right now in this moment to get into a positive creation. So everything around us starts becoming more positive. And so the only thing we can work on to create the external is not to try and change the external, but to actually just to change our feelings and our vibrations, our emotions from within. So how do we get into high vibrational states is very, very simple. If we understand a vibrational frequency chart, right? Are you aware of the vibrational frequency chart? Have you looked at it before?
Yes.
Right.
So I have some awareness.
Yeah. So if we understand it and we see it, that low vibrations are things like hate, anger, jealousy, frustration, regret. All of these things are low vibrational frequencies. Meaning the moment we allow ourselves to think that way, everything around us manifests and creates in that way too. So All we need to do in every moment when we feel that, hey, everything's going against us right now, life doesn't seem like the best right now, what we need to do is, so you ask yourself, how do I force myself into positive vibrational frequencies, which starts at love, then goes on to joy, then goes on to peace. So what I do when everything, let's say whether it's been business and relationships, when everything seems to be going against me in those moments, what do? First of all, I don't focus on it, because I know the moment I focus on it, it expands. I divert my focus to push myself to say, what do I love in this world? Who do I feel love from in this world? Where do I feel love? And who do I love? Like anything related to love, I take myself into that moment and I think about it. Right? And I think about how blessed I am to love and feel that love right now. The second thing, and by the way, love starts from self-love, which I'll finish off with in a second. Now, that's the love side. The second part of it is joy. So I think, okay, what makes me really happy? What makes me laugh? Like what makes me just smile right now? And then I focus on everything that makes me smile, everything that makes me laugh. That gets me into joy frequency. The final thing is to ask myself, okay, can I feel in absolute peace and trust in the universe right now? Because when I know I'm at peace, I know I'm most connected to the universe, and I know that my vibrations are most highest. Therefore, I manifest positive things into my life. So these are the three main things that I go into whenever there's any negative thoughts, feelings, or anything happens around me, right? Now, going on to the final thing I wanted to finish off, which is kind of what you finished off with before when you were asking the question, and also what you typed in the message as well, is the feeling of sometimes feeling alone, right? Now, the thing with alone is to understand this, and this is what I said before, love starts from self-love. And the understanding, and this is something that I learned from Sadhguru just a few months ago, and I thought it was beautiful the way he put this. He said that a lot of the time, right, we like to point the finger outwards and say that we're not happy right now. Like, I'm not happy right now because he's upsetting me, or she's making me unhappy, or the situation's making me unhappy. And we always point the finger outwards. Now, the question is this, right? So when we are with other people, we have an excuse to be unhappy, upset, angry, frustrated, whatever it is, right? So we give ourselves the excuse. Now, the interesting thing is, some people, when they're alone, they're upset. And when they're alone, they're unhappy. When they're alone, they don't feel like in the place of bliss or at peace. Now, then what Sadhguru said was, if you're alone and you're unhappy, then you really need to think about the company that you're with. And so what that means is like the only person you're with in that time is yourself. So how do you change your vibrations or your feelings when you are alone? That's why I asked you before, one of my first questions was, do you practice like breathing meditation or yoga? Because the whole practice of meditation and yoga, I just came back from the Himalayan mountains. When I was out there, it was all about us going alone into different areas of the mountains and just sitting there. Literally sitting there. How do we practice just breathing, being at peace, and feeling gratitude even alone by ourselves? Because when we want to change the outer world, our outer world will only change when we start changing our inner world. So the question really is, how do we practice being absolutely at peace, being ecstatic, like loving life when we are by ourselves? And I think that starts from inner peace, starting from practice breathing. And I highly recommend just practice yoga, because you're by yourself. Practice yoga by yourself. Just stretch, feel energy, feel gratitude for being able to move, feel love for everything around you, the energy you are. Feel gratitude for life, and just practice just breathing in those moments. And the more you practice it, and I know it's hard, especially when things go wrong in life, right? And things don't go to plan, but you force yourself and you say, you know what? Because apparently it's supposed to work, so I'm going to force myself to practice this stupid stuff and see what happens. And then when you force yourself, then slowly and surely you'll start finding, that's what it's about. Like, this is what it is. And then your life will start to change.
Okay.
Has that been of
I'm
any
gonna
use?
try this.
You know,
I know if you do something for 30 days, it becomes a habit. So.
yeah, the thing is this, Kalinda, I used to be really like in my early 20s, I used to be a very angry, jealous, have a lot of hate for things, and even myself, I used to be that type of person. And so I really know the journey, because when that happens, everything around us also becomes that, So I was like, I was really the disaster, and so coming from that, I know that that there is a way to change, and it first starts with a little bit of an unwilling, forceful, like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I don't think it's gonna work for me anyway, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's like that. Then what happens is, because you consistently practice it, it becomes a part of you, and then by the time you know it, a month down the line, 2 months down the line, 6 months down the line, you'll be like, whoa, why did I not know this before?
Okay.
So I'm gonna do this, Kalinda. I'm gonna put it in my notes. I'm gonna make a video, right, on a nice yoga practice, a nice breathing practice. I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna post it probably in within the next 2 weeks. I'm just gonna put that video out for you, and then you can practice what I show in there.
I truly appreciate it, and
Cool.
I appreciate you calling me and speaking with me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you too for being here, and yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
Have a beautiful
so
beautiful
much.
day.
Okay, you do the same.
Thank you. Namaste.
You.
Bye.
Bye.
Whew. Because I've been through that journey before, I know how hard it is, especially when things don't seem to be going right. And it's like, why are you telling me to breathe in these situations, And you can't see how breathing can change your reality and the problems that you have around you. And I totally understand that, because there's like, you can't get your logical mind behind that, right? But it works. And I always say this, sometimes when we're unsure about something, or sometimes if there's any resistance towards practicing certain things, the real question is, what have I to lose? And sometimes when you think about it and you don't have anything to lose, then give it a shot. Even with the negative mind, give it a shot. Consistent practice of it will start shifting everything in your life. Guys, if this video has been of any use to you whatsoever, or you felt it relatable, please do just hit that thumbs up, hit the like button, help support the channel. Also, comment below, let us know where you guys have tuned in from. It's always nice to know, or maybe your thoughts or questions around this. It's always nice to know. And finally, if you're new to this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it. That's a little bell button to get notified. Because this year, I'm dedicated to making daily videos of positivity, business, personal development, spirituality, anything that will keep you inspired or entertained to make this year your best year yet. But for now, guys, see ya. Ciao.